Hello and thank you for tuning in to this CGTN live stream. I'm your host Tiran He and we're currently in the beautiful city of Nanjing in Jiangsu province in East China. Now today we're going to be showing you around this beautiful city, and the first stop here is at the site of the porcelain tower. Now this is a reconstruction of a 15th century pagoda that was once upon a time one of the tallest towers here in China, and even though you might not have seen it before, you may recognize it from the packaging of your Chinese takeout box. In fact, you'll see this a lot everywhere in the world, even on shows such as Big Bang Theory. And today joining us is Associate Professor Bi Yun of Southeast University here in Nanjing to tell us more about the significance of this beautiful tower.
Hi.
Thank you for joining us.
Welcome and thank you for having me.
It's very beautiful,
yes.
but it obviously is different compared
different.
to the original version.
Much different.
Can you tell us about...
Not as good.
Right. But can you tell us about the importance of the original tower?
Yeah, sure. It's actually centuries before the invention of this takeout box. This tower was already famous to foreigners, and the reason for that was mostly because the missionaries who came to China, and they all had the chance to visit Nanjing, seeing a lot of marvels. Most of them we do not have the fortune to see today, and they all left with good stories to tell, and this was on top of that list, because in that time the porcelain tower, the original version of this of course, was to China as the Eiffel Tower is to France today, and everybody wanted to see it, and everybody wanted to bragging about having seen it. And we know that it looked differently because they actually have some pictures painting. I actually prepared some to show you.
Oh wow, yes, that's very different.
Much differently.
And it does look a lot more like what we're seeing here on the package. You mentioned there were European travelers. I was doing some reading. There was a Dutchman.
Johann Neuhoff?
Yes, that's right. It's very difficult to pronounce his name.
Yes.
And also an Italian Jesuit priest, Matteo
Ricci, yes. And well, Johann Neuhoff, he came to Nanjing in the middle of the 17th century. He came twice actually, and he stayed only for a month. But his travel note was famously important because it was one of the first non-missionary ones that records China, and because its words came with pictures, beautifully painted pictures, the ones we're seeing now, and that was in the time before the invention of cameras, so you could only imagine.
And to learn more about how this tower would have originally looked, we're going to go inside the museum now to look at a wooden model of the original tower. We can go down this way, right?
Yes.
Okay, and the tower itself is part of a bigger temple complex called the Temple of Gratitude.
Yes.
And it was founded at the same time as Nanjing itself.
Yes, I mean the one that's most famous was built in Ming Dynasty, but it's actually not built from ground. It's built on the basis of a temple and tower from the 6 dynasties.
I see. Okay, so roughly the 3rd century.
Yes.
Now, obviously, what we're seeing here is a wooden tower. It also was originally 9 stories tall.
Yes, I believe so.
And I think it was close to 80 meters tall, right?
Yes.
So it wasn't the largest pagoda in China, but
perhaps
one of.
back in 6 dynasties, definitely one of the most famous and majestic ones we have.
Yeah, I mean, imagine a skyscraper made of wood. You know, that many centuries ago, it must have been so awe-inspiring.
Yeah, definitely.
And you mentioned that there were supposed to be bells and I think
wind
lanterns
chimes.
as well.
Imagine 108 of them singing all together. That would be breathtaking.
Of course. And what we're looking at now is a wooden model, but it was called the porcelain tower.
Yeah, the porcelain.
And obviously it would have looked a lot more spectacular with all of the porcelain glazed in many different colors. There is actually a reconstruction in another part of the museum that we'll take you to now. Is it the original? It's a reconstruction and the original.
I think
right?
Perhaps they found some of the shreds from the.
Wow.
So it's not the whole picture, but you will get how the color would be.
That is incredible, because often when we look at ancient relics or old towers, it just looks kind of like grey stone.
Yeah, grey pale. Yeah.
Or, you know, it's a ruin, but this would have been so incredible back in the day.
Imagine that wooden replica we just saw, and times bigger with this color
Wow.
on that.
Because it's called the porcelain tower, so it wasn't just the arch, but also the whole tower was covered in I think it was white tiles? Or?
It was believed to be so, at least on those pictures painted.
And you can just imagine how beautiful it must have been during the daytime when the sunlight was reflected off those porcelain tiles, and at night they also hung lanterns, didn't
Yeah,
they?
lanterns, so make sure it's always shining.
It's always illuminated. And for those of you who are unable to take part in today's live stream, I just want to show you something really fun. They've got a QR code here that you can scan, and then you can point it at the arch that we see right in front of us, and with any luck we'll have something very special coming out. Oh! So we just caught a white elephant, one of the auspicious animals that you see on the gate right here. Look at it, this is absolutely amazing, and I think what this museum's done so well is that they've introduced all of these modern fun elements to museums which are usually quite heavy with history.
Yes.
And,
this will attract many more people to come and experience the cultural thing.
Exactly.
And
I've just caught it. It's gone into my wallet. It's like a trading card game. I caught one earlier, which was a lion, and now I have an elephant. And now I have to scan it as many times as possible to collect them all. But I do want to ask you, we've got a number of animals here.
Yes.
There's the elephant that I just caught. Yeah. There's a lion as well.
The flying goat.
That's a flying goat, okay.
Yeah, flying goat.
And of course we've got the dragon as well.
Yeah, they are Buddhist images. Well, I think they all present a certain kind of good wishes, a good symbol.
Absolutely spectacular.
So we have this stuff they collected from what is remained of the temple and the tower.
I mean, the colors, even after, so many centuries.
Imagine in their prime.
It's incredible, absolutely incredible.
So this is not the only famous temple here in Nanjing. We actually have a lot of them. There's this Tang poetry that said there's 480 temples just in the 200 years of Southern Dynasty.
Wow.
So,
I can imagine it. I mean, we've even got an extra one here as well.
Well, I've been meaning to ask, is this empty or it came with fried rice or spring roll?
No, there's no General Tso's chicken in here, but I do have a local snack.
Oh, you do have food in there?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's actually something that my dad used to eat as a kid. I haven't eaten much of it. It's like deep fried twiglets. Yeah, it's interesting.
I mean, thinking this as the traditional Chinese version of an energy bar. I mean, in the time where everybody lacking everything, like we don't have a lot to eat, and this is one of the culinary luxury. It's deep fried, and it provides a lot of energy.
Yeah, I mean, especially during those times when oil was a luxury.
Yes. Well, there was a time when cooking oil was more precious to us than oil.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, and also we're going to be walking a lot today, so we're going to need this box of energy.
It's an excellent choice.
And it's also something that everybody likes to eat, and I think it's something that's deep in the heart of a lot of people.
Yes. So, and it's not very popular all through China, so you can only find this around Nanjing area.
I see. It's a sort of a childhood delight.
Yes.
And speaking of how the people of Nanjing live, we're going to go now to our colleague Hannah, who's in a very beautiful Chinese garden to explore more about the life of a person here in Nanjing.
So I see this is for Hannah too.
Yes.
welcome to the beautiful Jianyuan Garden here in Nanjing. It has recently become a very popular photography spot for people like me, but I think we need some local knowledge. That is why we have the wonderful Professor Lu, who is actually a professor of architecture at Nanjing University and has a wealth of experience in the art of the Chinese garden. Welcome, Mr. Lu.
Oh, welcome to the garden world.
Wow, so what have we got here then?
This way. We follow this pathway.
Okay, so this is the main area of
Yeah,
the
this
garden.
is the central part of the new area. And on the right, you see the main hall. And opposite it is a visual access that ends into nowhere, because the Chinese principle is to hide the end of anything. So it's always to hide the water with trees and with rocks. So it tries to show that there's nothing that will really come to an end.
So it's all about continuation.
Yeah,
never
it's
looking
about
towards
the
end.
continuation, about the cycle, about the. We believe this is the principle of nature. So we try to understand that and make yourself, make human life also part of that nature.
Wow. And here, I believe this is Taihu Rock. Am I correct?
Yeah, it's a modern Taihu rock. Taihu rock is very hard to make because historically the craftsmen will put it in the bottom of the river and let the water let it flow to gradually shape this holes over centuries.
Oh,
So it
this is
takes-
the perfect selfie opportunity.
Yes, it takes a lot of time
Taihu
and
is very
definitely
rare.
was the picture.
So these holes in the rocks are made from the water.
Yeah, historically it was made in that way, so it takes
Wow.
generations. So if your grandfather buried the rock in the bottom of the water, even your granddaughter will dig it out and to find it transformed into a Taihu rock.
Wow. And these archways are incredible. So much symmetry.
So corridor is very important in the Chinese garden because in this region of China there are many rainy days.
Yes.
So how to appreciate the garden in rainy times? The corridor, you will thank the designer for that.
Oh, so the corridors are mostly functional, just to protect
Yes,
you from
yes.
the elements.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that. And what about here? I'm always fascinated by these carvings.
Oh, this is one of the most extraordinary feature of the Chinese garden. We call that lattice window.
Oh,
It's a
lattice,
window, but then you try to protect some of the visual things from behind. That you always see part of it, and it invites you actually to raise your curiosity. So it invites you to move inside to discover by yourself.
It's like each space is kind of like a picture frame in
Yes,
a way, right?
but it's more than picture frame, right? Because it has this lattice.
Wow, we've also got some of the carvings here.
Yeah.
And this is
If
carp.
Yes. The
Carp.
carp signifies fortune.
Ah, yeah, I've seen this online. Everyone likes to post the carp as good fortune.
Yes. Let's go.
Oh, perfect.
So this building is special. It tried to mimic a boat. So when you stand in this pavilion, actually from the outside it looks as if you are standing on a boat.
Okay.
So this reminds you that human life is just like you riding a boat on the water. You are driven by the flow. It's uncertain. But as a human being, you should customize yourself to uncertainty. And remember that everything is unpredictable. And
So-
ease yourself.
So just keep sailing. Don't rock the boat. Just keep sailing. Okay.
So we move around this zigzag corridor. We don't like those very straight corridors. So the zigzag is very important. It allows you to constantly redirect yourself, and you see different views on different sides.
Yeah, when you
And-
describe it, it's almost like the Tai Chi.
And
This
it also
flow of
slows
energy.
you down, and that's important because Chinese gardens are very small usually. So the zigzag corridors make you to actually elongate the journey.
Yeah, by
And
force
you
makes
should also
slow.
notice it's not flat. Sometimes it goes a little upwards, a little downwards. So that provide different perspectives. Now you are looking down to the water.
As every corner that you turn your head,
I
you get
see
this
people are
different
feeding
view.
the fish. Let's move to the pavilion.
Oh wow! wow, okay, now we see all of the
Yeah,
carp.
yeah, yeah.
I thought there was only a few of the jumbo
No, they are
goldfish.
hiding in the water.
Oh, we've got the carp and also black swan. This is stunning.
Yes. Yeah, I brought some fish food for you. You should try yourself.
Let's see if I have good
Yeah.
fortune in my hands today. Okay.
Does it work?
Oh, I have good fortune today.
Perfect.
Oh, amazing. We're popular with
Yeah.
the good fortune carp today. Oh, beautiful.
But the raising fish is very important because the garden is actually a place where you become friends with other creatures in the world.
Okay.
You see also the birds over there?
Uh-huh.
So it's not simply about enjoy the views, the aesthetics. It's also about experience the life cycle of other creatures. Not only birds and fish, but also rocks and trees. The ancient Chinese believe these are other forms of life. So you experience them and have a conversation with them as if they are your relatives or friends.
So essentially, you need to find it within yourself to connect with any
Yeah.
animate or inanimate object
So
within
the
this space.
principle is that humans are not external or separated from nature. You are always part of nature.
So it's about finding that equity amongst all
Yeah.
the creatures, right?
Now you see we are in the most important location of the Chinese garden, of this garden.
Okay.
That's in front of the main hall, which is a place where the master entertains the guests. And usually, this main hall will face the front of the gigantic mountain. So this is the best view of the mountain.
So many layers to it. So
Yes.
when was this mountain established?
Oh, that's from the 15th century.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
From
that's
the
the
Ming.
original Ming Dynasty mountain, and this is one of the best in China. We say that mountain, it looks so big, but actually it's a little bit flattened. So if you look from the other side, you will see it's like different layers. But then if you look from the front, you will see it's like a big composition of the mountain.
It's like putting a mirror
Yeah.
in a tiny apartment.
Yeah.
It makes it look
you will
bigger.
see your eyes will follow the mountain and upwards. You will see the peaks in the back as if they are going upwards to the sky. And then you feel the energy that the mountain is approaching you. And then if we go through this hall, you will see another mountain created by the modern designers in conversation with the Ming Dynasty mountain.
So how modern are we talking?
Oh, that's the mid 20th century.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
okay.
yeah,
So they
yeah.
managed to inherit some of the craftsmanship.
Yes, and not only inherit, but they are showing respect by creating a conversation with the Ming masters.
How
So-
do they do that?
Yes, we look over here. We see another mountain, but this one is a little bit retreated.
yeah,
It's
you're
look
right.
backwards, and it creates a cave, and it focuses on the theme of water. So the Ming Dynasty mountain focus on the peaks. It's going upwards and expands. But this mountain, you see, is a little bit introversive. It retreats backward, creating a cave. So it absorbs the energy. It softens the energy. So it's as if that one was a kind of male mountain, masculine mountain, and that one is more feminine.
So it's the masculine and feminine
And
energy.
in the very deep point of this cave, suddenly there's a fountain, the water come out. So the most negative, the deepest part is also the origin of the future.
Well, this place is also a hot spot for wedding photographs. So I'm going to have to jump down and get a quick selfie here.
Yeah, be careful.
Is there a reason why people come here for their marriage photos? Is there a kind of spiritual...
Yeah, the Chinese gardens are not only for visual appeal, the names and literature are also very important. Zhanyuan has very good, enjoy your time.
Wow.
Zhanyuan has very good name. It's called, Zhan means prospect. It's about vision towards the future. So people take photo here and to actually express their wish about the prospect of their marriage.
Okay, so if I come here with any future boyfriends, then it will end in a
Not
prosperous,
One
prosperous
boyfriend.
marriage. Just the one.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I just love that, you know, you can find this deeper meaning in rocks
Yeah, you
and
see,
spaces.
now we are between two artificial mountains, one Ming Dynasty one and the modern one, and the Ming Hall situated in between. So we are in a conversation between the masculine and feminine, between the peaks and the fountain, between the positive and negative, to see this invisible flow that penetrates through the hall for the human being.
I need to draw my attention to, is this the peach flower? This is
Yes.
the flower
So
of Nanjing, right?
the patterns of the pavement are very important. It actually shows the guest how you should behave. The flower means it's a place where you should enjoy your life. But then some other pavement, for example, the ice crack pavement indicates the hard study. You only visited, I think, a quarter of the garden. There are so many different places, but you have to discover by yourself. There's no singular itinerary going through all places. So everybody will discover their own gardens.
Wow, and where are we discovering now? Oh, are we back at the main? I did
Come
not
out
expect
and,
that.
A surprise. Wow. Imagine that you come back and the door was closed, and you look inside, there was nothing.
You never know.
You cannot detect. It's such a great garden hidden inside.
I mean, I must say, I really admire this beautiful harmony of the old and the new, and how even though they're basically centuries apart, they marry together in this very complete architectural space with, so much spiritual depth to it as well. It's really an incredible
I
experience.
think you capture the most important spirit of the garden aesthetics, because nature does not manifest itself in space, but more importantly, the nature can be experienced by the experience of time. So time, continuity, the circle of life is the most important spirits that the garden wants to show to you and make yourself understand you're part of nature rather than outsider of it.
Well, if we have any visitors coming to Jianyuan Garden, make sure you clear enough hours. Well, thank you, Professor Lu.
My pleasure.
I feel like we need some minutes to digest all that spiritual information, and we'll pass you on to Tianran, who will show you another marvel of the beautiful Nanjing.
Okay, so we've just walked across the Tianhuai River. You can see the porcelain pagoda in the background. We're now on the city walls, and from here you can actually see it does look quite similar, doesn't it?
Yeah, and it looks better here somehow.
I agree. But it's interesting. I mean, obviously it's made of concrete and glass now, but back then it would have been glazed porcelain.
Yeah, and with the bright sunlight, it will look pretty breathtaking. Better than it looks now. Yeah.
So the city wall itself, tell me a little bit about it, because it's a very large structure.
Yes, I think it was built on the basis of the Southern Song city wall, but that was not much. And it took 30 years, starting from when Nanjing became the capital city of Ming China. And it took like hundreds of thousands of workers. But it did not stop there. The emperors, the following emperors of Ming Dynasty, even the emperors of Qing Dynasty, they all took some work to enhance the city wall.
Right. I think it's often the case that people think with the Great Wall as well, it was all built in one go.
Yes, it's
It was
actually
over many centuries.
And some of the Asian emperors, what they did was to connect those great walls together.
Right, right. But obviously, the city wall has a defensive function. It's
Yes.
not just for tourists like us to walk around on, right?
Yeah.
What was some of the characteristics of this particular city wall?
I think we actually can have a look at its special design.
Okay.
It's very different from what we would have in most Western old cities, because for those cities, I believe the siege would come to an end once you breach the city gates.
Right.
But here we have a second, third, fourth layer of defense.
Oh, I see. They're sort of like little boxes.
Yes.
So these are barbicans, right?
Yes.
But I think usually barbicans are on the outside of the
Yeah,
gate.
that's the special part of it. So I think what they were trying to do is that once you breach the first gate, you would think that you have gone through the city, and you met your second line of defense, and you left your siege weapons on the outside.
I see. That's very tricky. And then the defenders can, swarm the walls and shoot arrows at them or drop boulders.
They actually have rooms for like over 3,000 soldiers high.
Wow. So it's literally like shooting fish in a barrel.
Yes,
It just makes them super easy targets.
Yes.
And it looks like there are, I think, 3 Three of them.
Three layers.
Okay, so this is a very strong city wall. It's interesting because it doesn't look like all of the bricks were, put in at the same time. There are even bits that are kind of like different colors.
Yes, it's funny you should mention that. Whenever you see a white spot on the bricks, those were actually paste made from sticky rice.
Oh.
It was used to hold bricks together. Now it may sound cheap, but it worked mixed with other things. So the even interesting fact is that when you see some bricks with a white spot on the outside, you will know this was the kind of bricks that fell apart after siege, perhaps, and put back together onto the wall. Because if it was in the original place, the white stuff should be on the inside against the other bricks.
I see. So it's basically like a very sturdy Lego tower that can be reconstructed brick by brick. Oh, that's fascinating. I mean, these days we use cement, right? But back in those days, sticky rice seemed to be a very common option.
Yes.
So, obviously today it's lost its defensive function, the city wall. But
hopefully.
Hopefully. But it also looks like, it's a popular tourist destination. Lots of people visiting this.
It's interesting that I think it started from about 6 centuries ago when Nanjing folks, they had this cultural thing that after the celebration of the first full moon of the new year, they would gather and walk up here. And by doing so, they kind of were wishing for good health in the year to come. And the fact that they managed to do so because we just walked up here, you know that the fact they would be able to do so confirmed that their health was not too bad anyway.
I see. So first full moon of the first lunar, so that would be at the end of Spring Festival, Lantern Festival.
Yes, Lantern Festival.
Which is obviously, a very important festival here in China. The Spring Festival rings in the new year. It's according to the Chinese calendar, though, so it often sort of occurs at the end of January, sometime in February. It changes every year.
Sometimes.
But it's basically to bring good luck, I guess. It's a tradition.
Good luck, and it's also a good luck for the year to come because that's when you started to prepare to go back to work.
Right, one last party before life
yes.
returns to normal.
Yes.
And this is interesting too because this part of the wall, you've got these steps here, but there are also these two big slopes on either side.
Yes, I think it's the same thing as you would see at our railway stations, airports, those parts that would be easier for you to carry your luggage.
Right.
Yeah. But back then, that's much heavier.
Yeah.
Cannons and stuff.
Right, and obviously we're wearing normal casual clothing, but in the past...
Yes, for the soldiers, it would be much more difficult.
Right. Yeah, they would be wearing full suits of armor, bringing up cannons, horses. Made it a lot easier for the defensive
much easier
part of the town, but not so much for the attackers.
No.
It's incredible how, we're walking on a city wall that is some, roughly 600 years old, and it's still in such great working condition.
Yeah, this was here before the discovery of America.
Yeah, I mean, if you put it that way, that is absolutely incredible. Back in the Middle Ages.
Yeah, back in the...
And it seems like, I don't know if I'm correct in saying that, but during that time, many towns and cities were basically fortresses where people lived inside and they farmed outside.
Yeah, they all have a wall, a city wall to defend the central part of it.
Right. It was a very, the first thing that you would do when you build a city.
Yes.
I see. I guess we could probably go inside into the museum to have a look.
There's a rather beautiful collection of the bricks and the history of the city wall. We can have a look.
Okay, that's great. Because I did see earlier that there were some bricks that had some very interesting characters on them.
Yes.
Ah. I see. It's a lot more noticeable here compared to outside.
Yeah,
the characters
a whole
are very
collection.
clear.
And you can see there are bricks that not only from the years where this wall was first built, but after that,
I see.
all those emperors, they enhanced the city wall.
Right. It wasn't built just in one go.
Yes.
I see. And could you tell us a little bit more about the characters printed on the bricks itself?
Of course. And you can see they have this planned out for you. This, I think, is one of the best ones because they have all kinds of people on there. They have the people who's in charge of the local quality control and the local daily administration, and I think the last one was the one who made this very brick.
I see.
And this Jiashou number 6 was the one who's in charge of a lot of number 7 people
Right.
together.
And, you know, if the brick breaks,
Yeah, all of them will find themselves in very serious trouble.
very serious trouble. And back then, trouble didn't just mean a dock in your wages. Trouble actually means that your entire family will be eradicated. And so, even though, you know, we have better technology these days, the craftsmanship of those ages is very difficult to replicate because they literally had their lives on the line.
Yeah.
And this sort of quality assurance system was so successful that it was actually used in the Great Wall of China as well,
Yes,
isn't it?
sure. And one of the major concerns of this system in the first place was that they were afraid of people getting lazy or wanting to, you know, cutting something off on the edge.
I see. No, no secretly using the materials for your own house.
They want
I
to make
mean-
sure there's no breadcrumb
Right.
across the table. Yeah.
It must have taken a very long time to build the wall.
About 30 years. It's first finished by the end of the 14th century.
Wow, that's incredible. And this would have been what it would have looked like in the Ming Dynasty.
Yeah, just imagine how
I see.
expensive this would be if they were made in Lego.
Well, yeah, of course, or of bricks too.
Yeah.
And I think in terms of location, we visited the porcelain tower
we're
earlier,
just here.
and at the city wall now. Tell me a little bit about the people who lived here. Or
I mean, people lived close to the wall were not very rich or politically important. They were not prestige. They were humble workers. I mean, some of them chose to live here because first they couldn't afford a better place, and second, it's close to work.
right, they probably had to leave the gate
Yes.
very often. And the two areas nearby the gate, they actually have names that are very specific to that,
Yeah,
right?
and very straightforward. That's the west part and the east part, 老门西 and 老门东.
Right. Speaking of which, our colleague Hannah is currently checking out life of local Nanjing people. Let's go see what she's up to now.
We are here at the Ganshi residence, which is the former living quarters of one of the wealthiest families during the Qing dynasty, and it's become a hotspot for Nanjing tourists. That's why Professor Lu is going to give us a deeper look. So let's take a look, shall we?
This used to be a family residence, but now also a folk museum.
Oh, wow,
So
okay.
it still keeps the secret of how the rich family in the Qing dynasty lives their domestic life. So for example, the courtyard we just been is for the family members, but now we are approaching the servants' road.
I spy some bamboo around the corner. I'm wondering if you could tell me what's the significance of bamboo in this type of architecture?
So you see bamboo circling the moon gate. Here's the moon gate. Bamboo signifies the dignity, solitude. So it's about how you live alone, enjoy your life by yourself.
Wow. I can't say I spend too much time in solitude, but it definitely makes me feel very peaceful.
And also you see there are interesting entrances to different courtyards. So it looks quite cool. This whitewashed wall and the eaves, but actually it was used by the servants.
Yeah, in a way, it almost feels kind of futuristic with such
yes,
blaring
almost
white.
a modern abstract art.
Yeah, absolutely, very abstract. I'm
Yeah.
going to need to take a quick selfie
Yes.
whilst we're here. This is the photography tour.
It deserves it.
It matches the
This
outfit.
way. And here we come to the special courtyard for the master. We see that it's quite a small courtyard, quiet and very intimate. So the master will live in a relatively small study space.
Quite modest for the master.
It's very interesting, right? So in such a big complex, actually the final room you are using are relatively small. So this is a typical setting in the Qing dynasty. The master will sit there, do his own study. And then there's a traditional layout, the brush and the paper. He can read books and write. And then he uses his right hand, and the light from the left will cast on his hand.
So this will inspire me to study more and put my phone away from time to time.
You see the staircase is very
Very
hard,
steep.
very
yeah.
hard to climb.
Yeah.
Normally the ladies are using the upper floor.
Ah, so it was separated by sex? Men on the bottom, women on the top?
Yeah, in the most time of the day.
Okay.
Because the guests might come in as an invader, so it's better to hide your female family members from the guests. Here we become to a more living quarter. So now we see the rockery come again. And this is very interesting rockery that actually connects two courtyards. If you find this cave, you walk into it, and you leave exit in another courtyard. It's almost like the secret passway.
Okay,
Take a try.
Should I go into the secret passway? That looks a bit mysterious, but I'll give it a shot. Okay, are we
Rabbit
ready?
hole, be careful.
I hope there's no sneaky surprises under here.
Might be rabbits.
Rabbits or snakes. Wow,
Be careful with your head.
the shape of these rocks.
For something.
It's like we're playing human Tetris.
But it's very good for the kids.
Oh, I can imagine, yeah.
Kids will love it. You see. And if you look back, you even don't know where you came out.
Wow. It's just this endless journey of never knowing
Have a
where
look
you're
at this pavement. It's very rare. It's a fish scale, or we call it dragon scale pavement.
Yeah, I was going to say it does kind of remind me of like a fish scale.
Yeah, it's very delicate and usually used for the dining space. This way.
With this white, you never know where the doors are hidden. Wow.
You see, the upper floor are more decorated for ladies.
And the wood carvings, so grandiose.
So normally we are approaching the master's way. So it's no longer the alley, but rather you have to go through courtyards and the halls, courtyards and halls. And the number of courtyards signifies the prosperity of the family. So this one have 7 courtyards as a series.
Oh, wow. So the more courtyards, the more wealthy you are.
Yes.
I have none, unfortunately. So thank you very much. So we're back to the garden.
So we are still in the residence. So for a residence of a rich family, you not only need courtyards, you also need a garden to entertaining and to relax. So also people prefer to live with trees and rockery.
Oh, yeah, I can see the rock plays a very big role in the design of this residence.
So it's like a centerpiece here to fill you with something to look at. Do you want to take a photo?
Oh, yeah, you know me. Okay, quick selfie, then we're on to the next stop. Wow, and whichever way you look at it, it's almost like you can see face shapes.
Yes, and there are holes and openings that actually allow you to look through.
I think this one we can't fit inside, so.
Yeah. Sometimes they mimic different kinds of animals and often sacred animals.
Yeah, it does make you ponder, doesn't it?
So we follow this zigzag corridor, and the family residence is so big. On that side, we have a family temple over there. And this way is another series of courtyards, today used as a folk museum.
Oh, wow. So how big is the residence over here?
12 to 13 meters.
Wow. And here we have the Folklore Museum. This looks pretty contemporary. When was this established?
Oh, this is also from Qing Dynasty. So but in recent years, we just moved all the immaterial heritage craftsmen to here. But the space is the original one.
So what do we have here?
Here's a very interesting and just a miracle thing. We call that the silk flower.
I've seen this online. It's the fluffy flowers, I think
Yes,
they call it online.
Yes. It's actually made from the silk.
Oh, this is made from silk?
Because this region in China is very famous as the origin of silk.
Wow.
We use silkworm and making silk. And then based on this production, we have this just such an art of flower making.
And now I see where...
You want to touch it?
I want to see where it lends the name for furry. This is incredible. So how long would it take to manufacture something like this by
You
hand?
should ask the craftsman.
Oh, wow. He looks like he's
He's a
deep.
master.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
打扰一下。
Okay, what shape do we have going on here?
您在剪什么样的形
我在
状？
做这个花瓣子，
Oh, these are petals of flower.
Oh,
Oh, it's the chrysanthemum.
要添上去的，
it looks so fresh I could make it into a tea.
要再添上去的这个。
Can I touch it? Oh, it's so delicate. Unfortunately, I think I'm a bit too heavy-handed
所以
to
制作
ever.
这样一个花要多长时间呢？
一天做不起来。
So even for a master like him, he cannot finish it in one day.
I think for
It
me,
takes time.
3 months with my
More.
procrastination. Wow.
你看，你可以
Oh, 谢谢. Matches my hair. 谢谢老师. Wow. I think I'm too heavy-handed to even give this a
I
try.
think these are pupils of the master who want to learn this heritage.
Ah, it's like the masters and the apprentice.
是您的那个
都是我
学生
们这个团队的
啊。
都是年轻人加
Yeah,
入进
these are young people who want to follow him to study how this was made.
Yeah.
非遗传承了。
It's about the inheritance of this technique.
Because I can see here we have the classical flower design and then these contemporary, almost looks like a pig in a basket.
Yes.
It's really nice to see that old and new coming to surface again.
Yeah, it's I think recent years younger people start to be very interested in this tradition and craftsmanship again. So it become popular.
And it's incredibly meditative as well. It takes so much attention to detail and time.
Yeah.
A nice escape from city life, yeah.
Yeah, it's very different from those industrially made stuff.
Oh,
It's all
absolutely.
naturally made material and then craftsmanship to do.
And I actually seen this inspired some fashion trends for
We can go from here.
2024.
See, here is the cloth art. So like the brocade.
Oh, what, is this also with silk?
Yes.
Ah, it
So
has such
the
a shine.
designer should design a kind of basic composition, and then it takes time to do that.
Oh, the weaving.
There are all kinds of design.
Oh, and I see we have some international students
yes.
who's been trying their hand at this ancient art. Wow. I love how you can implement it in so many different
Look at that
forms.
rabbit. It's very.
So
So the
delicate.
silk have very interesting tactile feeling. Some of that genius has a very good call it best wish for marriage.
And this kind of style of art prospered in which period of history?
And this is kind of art that used both by the royal family and the everyday people. For example, this decoration is used by the traditional the officers. They use that in their official costume.
Oh, wow.
我们是一种立体刺绣，和苏绣还是不一样的。所以我们工艺上面，比如说我们这个小兔子绣好以后，还要把它剪下来做二次加工、二次缝制，然后才能变成这样一个样子。
So it says they need to have two phases. First, we did it in this way, and then they cut it, and then they redo it again. So it's different stages of craftsmanship.
Kind of like
而且
tracing.
我这做的是双面，上盘是绣出来的。
So it's different from the way in Suzhou or other regions. It's very 是南京这边的对吧？
对我们南京的，所以
Very
我做出的是
Nanjing
一种立体
local-
的，它是立体的，
It's-
里面
ah,
放我们中国的中药。
香包是吧？
对。
So they use herbal medicine
你这样
inside.
的闻一下就是
If you
哦
carry it,
这就是中药。
this smell will follow you and protect you
这就是中药。
So
from
fragrant.
illness.
It's almost like a kind of lavender scent. Very distinctly
Hmm.
Nanjing. Take a look. Good luck, Sinko.
谢谢，谢谢。
Sinko.
Thank you.
Oh, with the integration of Chinese medicine, I've never
I
seen
think what's
that
interesting
before.
is that the art becomes part of life. So people will feel like medicine it. It has different uses. So no longer about the art, the aesthetics. It also have an everyday function. That's what makes this interesting.
It's kind of the same as the garden concept. It's about finding a deeper meaning.
And here are some bronze sculpture of the kind of a city life in the Qin dynasty. Here are kids playing the fireworks.
Yeah, I was going to say they don't look too much like emperors. This kind of represents
want to
more
take a
the working
photo?
class life, right? So this is more from the village perspective, right?
No, I think the citizens do it in the same way. This way.
I follow you. Way too easy to get lost in here.
Here about carving with different materials. We have the wood carving, bamboo carving, and so this is the roots of bamboo.
So much arts and crafts.
And here is the most distinctive local product. It's
Okay.
the lantern making.
No way.
Nanjing is very famous for the lantern making.
Oh wow, we've
We
got
have this
mixed-
delicate, very interesting lanterns of all animals. Some are earthly animals, some are heavenly, sacred, legendary animals.
Oh my god, so much
This is so funny, you
detail.
know, it's like a collage, a dragon with the lotus flower.
This one's my favorite, I have to say. Very eccentric.
And that one is just very widely used, the lotus. Lotus is very preferred by Chinese.
And what material do they use?
Paper.
Ah, so all from
So use
paper.
special traditional paper and then use the brush to give it a little, usually red or pink.
Okay.
Wow.
Now,
so
we've had
you
a
see
walk
that-
through history. This is the one that I keep seeing on Instagram. I need to snap a pic
Yes.
here.
We call that fish dragon lantern.
Fish dragon
So these are
lantern.
not earthly fish, it's a heavenly fish.
And that's not all for the wonderful tourists of Nanjing. Let's pass you on to Tiaran, who will show you some more.
From the city wall to the palace of heavenly worship, we're joined by Assistant Professor Liu from Southeast University at Nanjing. Could you tell us a little bit about the significance of this place?
Yeah, this temple is called Chao Tian Gong, or literally means the heaven worshipping palace. Yeah, it was named during the Ming Dynasty as the imperial Taoist temple. Yeah.
I mean, you can see how absolutely gorgeous it is in there. But it's also interesting how there are so many kids sliding down the steps. I wonder how the emperor must have felt.
Yeah, it is very interesting for this might be a public, urban public space for the local residents. Yeah, you see, this picture is also very interesting. It was a woodblock print in the late Ming period. And there are people practicing martial arts on this square.
Oh, wow.
And a lot of onlookers gather around.
Okay, so the emperor's always had commoners on his doorstep having fun.
Yeah, this is Imperial Taoist Temple. Also, it has another side for the local people.
For sure. I mean, it's important to have, you know, temples that are accessible to everybody as well, right? But speaking of Taoist, I mean, we have a statue of Confucius here.
Yeah.
How does that connect?
You might be Confucius with this statue of Confucius.
Exactly.
Yeah, because after the movement of the Taiping Tianguo, this place, this Taoist temple, was changed to Confucius Temple of
see.
the local prefectural school.
Okay.
Yeah, so we can see this statue of Confucius
I
here.
see. And how long ago was the temple founded?
Yeah, the Taoist temple was initially founded in the 10th century, shortly after the Tang Dynasty.
Okay.
Yeah, and it became more and more important, especially during the Ming Dynasty.
I see. I think it's something that we found to be the case in a lot of structures here in Nanjing, that, you know, they were built over many centuries as opposed to
Yeah,
all in
yeah,
one go.
yeah.
You can also see how, you know, despite the fact that this is now, you know, inside there was a Confucian temple, but judging by the yellow glazed tiles, this was an imperial complex, because only I
Yeah.
think the imperial family could use this color.
Yeah, even even the buildings were reconstructed. Yeah, we still use this yellow roof.
Right.
Yeah, because it was the imperial standards.
Of course, of course. What is the significance of this gate?
You see, the name of this gate is called Dachengmen. It's named after Confucius, because Confucius is regarded and commemorated as the supreme sage teacher of
Okay.
great achievements. Yeah, so this gate, along with the hall in front of us, after this gate, is also called the Hall of Great Achievements.
I see. If we walk through these doors, we'll achieve a lot in life.
Yeah, we'll follow the footsteps of Confucius himself.
Hopefully, we'll do our best. Okay, so this is the Confucian temple, the
Yeah.
Wenmiao.
This is the main building of the Confucian temple. Yeah, when it was still the Taoist temple, this hall is called the Sanqing Dian, the hall to worship the three pristine ones.
Okay.
Yeah, there's the highest deities of the Taoism.
I see here, this is an emblem of the emperor. You've got a dragon with,
Yeah.
is it a pearl?
I think it might be the remains
I see.
of the original Ming Taoist temple.
Ah.
Yeah. So most of the buildings were rebuilt, but there are still some remains.
Wow.
That we could see the original works, architectural works, crafts.
Right.
Yeah, of the Ming imperial standards.
But you know, Ming dynasty was only about 600 years ago, but this temple itself has a much longer history, doesn't it?
Yeah, as we said, the history of a Taoist temple could be traced back to 10th century. But this site is called Yeshan. The history of Yeshan could be traced back to some 2,500 years ago.
Wow.
The name Yeshan is because it was built for a place for bronze smelting.
Okay.
It is recorded by history that Fu Chai, the king of Wu, established a forge on the small hill, and yeah, behind this hall.
Wow.
Yeah, and to manufacture bronze swords here.
Wow. That is incredible to think that this temple has been around for 2,500
Yeah,
years.
So this is also a part of the initial history of the Nanjing city.
Right.
Because Yeshan or Yecheng, there might be a small castle to protect the forge.
Do you happen to have a picture of that there?
No, this is just a Ming picture
Right.
of this Yeshan and the Taoist temple.
Right, right. But I do know that the Nanjing Municipal Museum is also within the temple
Yeah,
grounds here.
yeah,
So I guess we could go inside and see if there are any relics from
of course.
the past.
Yeah.
And I guess there's also more as well. The temple has
Yeah, it's
additional
called
halls.
Chongsheng Dian, another part of the Confucius temple, but it was originally the pavilion of the Jade Emperor. Yeah, in the Taoist temple.
Okay. So the museum is through here?
Yeah, of course.
see.
Please.
Okay. After you. There are lots of ancient relics in this museum. Can you tell us what we're looking at here?
Yeah, this is a remain of the city road in ancient Nanjing, when Nanjing was called Jiankang, the capital of the Six Dynasties.
And it looks like it's not quite flat, so what's going
Yeah,
on here?
yeah. You see, this road was made by bricks. Actually, a very expensive way to build roads. And there are two obvious grooves on the road. These are obviously made by the horse carriages.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's almost like train tracks or tram tracks.
Yeah. That's a very good point, because you know, when Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor, unified China, he also unified all the standards, including the width of the horse carriages.
Wow. That is incredible. I mean, just to think that long ago to have this level of sophistication it
Yeah.
blows my mind.
Yeah, it's very astonishing.
For sure. Let's see if there are any other interesting exhibits around here in the museum. Okay, this is interesting. It looks like people from many different ethnic backgrounds here all on one scroll.
Yeah, this painting is called the Portraits of the Tributaries. They are actually the envoys from neighboring countries.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was actually a painting made during the Liang Dynasty, 5th century, and the painting, the reproduction we see, is actually a copy of the 11th century during the Song Dynasty, and it is housed in the National Museum of China.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's incredible to think that even 1,500 years ago, Nanjing was already such an international place.
Yeah, because it is still the capital.
Wow. I don't even know what this is called.
Yeah, this machine is called a Miller sphere.
Okay.
It was actually built for the astronomers to observe stars. It is a replica of the original piece from the Imperial Observatory in Beijing.
Ah, yes, I've been there
Yeah.
before. So how old would the original have been?
Have been
Miller
used,
sphere.
or-
How old would it have been?
Yeah, 600 years ago, it was firstly built in Nanjing at the beginning of the Ming Dynasty. And after about 50 years ago, when the capital moved to Beijing, they built another one in Beijing. Yeah.
I mean, it would have been especially important for the emperor to be able to divine the fates from the stars.
Yeah, it is very important, not only because it connects with the heavenly mandate, also it is very important for calculating the calendar for average or the peasants to practicing their cultivation.
Right, and for those of you at home who don't know what a heavenly mandate is, it's basically proof that the emperor is able to be the go-between, the son of heaven, so the middleman between the heaven and earth. And you know, obviously China as an agricultural civilization, it was very important to know when to plant and when to harvest as well.
Yeah.
This is fun. We already saw this actually in the great Temple of Gratitude.
Yeah, the pagoda.
A replica of the pagoda, and also the arch. It must have been just absolutely incredible back in the day.
Yeah, yeah. So this gate is a replica of the original one. But you can see these pieces are the actual remains of the pagoda. Wow. It is very, very delicate.
Of course.
And you see such a huge architecture are decorated with all of these beautiful tiles. Yeah, yeah.
I mean, not just the craftsmanship, but you could tell how powerful the dynasty through this kind of beautiful art
Of course.
as well. Right. I mean, there was so much to see inside the museum, but I think we won't be visiting every single exhibit here, and we'll go to the rest of the temple grounds now. I think it's really interesting how many Chinese cities not only have a history of centuries, but also thousands of years.
Yeah. Actually, just as Zhu Ziqing once said, Nanjing is like an antique shop that you can find the history at every corner of the city.
Yeah, that's very apt. And we've just taken this wonderful walk through Nanjing's history here at the Temple of Heavenly Worship. Let's go to Hannah now, who's in another historic part of this ancient city, and see what she's up to.
Me again, and we are back at another Nanjing hotspot, and we have another local Nanjinger who's going to help be my guide on one of the most bustling streets of Nanjing. We're here at Laomendong, and this is my lovely friend Mia. So, hi, shall we start on the road?
Hello, let's go.
Let's go. So, Laomendong looks like an almost kind of ancient town, but I believe this is a relatively new installment.
Yeah,
to the city.
relatively new compared to the Confucius Temple. And I think it's mainly for the young people. We all like to go here and take some photos. And you can see some of the girls wearing those beautiful traditional clothes.
Yeah, I want to try that. I really want to try that later. So yeah, it looks like it attracts people of all ages, and we've got something for everyone here. We've got local stores. Hopefully we can pop our heads in and have a little look. So what would you recommend us having a look here at
How about
Laomendong?
this one? Do you know anything about the fluffy flower?
The fluffy flower, yes. Actually, I met the #1 master of this
really?
handicraft, Master Zhao. He's based over at the Ganxi residence.
So you went there?
Yeah.
When did you went there?
Actually today.
Oh, today?
Just before meeting you.
Amazing.
And we've seen him craft the handy flowers. He has 50 years of experience making these
So
fluffy
he is
flowers.
the greatest master
Yeah, he's actually
in the
#1.
whole country.
In the whole world,
whole
actually.
world, all right.
So I didn't disturb him too much, but he really looked like he knows what he was doing.
Yes, you can see.
It's
Are they
so
all
delicate.
made of cotton? Did Master Zhao told you anything?
So it's all made from pure silk.
Oh, silk.
Yeah, so
Right.
the fluffy might make you think that it's like cotton.
Yeah, cotton.
But basically they thread it so delicately, and I didn't watch for too long, but yeah, he uses his hands and technique to have this final result. But he can basically make anything, not just flowers.
Purely by hand.
Yeah, purely by hand. And he had some students in there
Amazing,
as well.
right.
And I'm very clumsy, so I just said, I will watch for now. That is so incredible. I think it's so distinct to Nanjing, so I think if anyone comes to visit here, they definitely need to give it a try.
Yeah, actually, I didn't know much about it. And thank you so much for telling about the master. Maybe I will have the chance in the future to meet him in person.
Well, today you're basically being a tourist in your own city. So.
Yeah, but I think I know more about something else, and we will see.
Well, be my guide for today. What else should we take a little look? Oh, this is the photo studio. Okay, that makes sense. I've seen so many stunning girls in the traditional costumes, all getting their pictures done. So I guess it's from these guys over here.
To shot your memory.
Yes, Nanjing impressions. But there's just so much local handicrafts here. I feel like you
Let's
could
see this
constantly get
one. This one is also famous. It is Nanjing Yunjing. It's a kind of brocade, a brocade.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But it has its roots in Nanjing. Yeah, thank you.
Wow, let's see.
You can see.
So it's this traditional silk here?
Yes, I think it's all made of gold silk, silver silk, so it's really expensive. I think there is a saying that this brocade is as expensive as gold.
It's worth its weight in gold.
And if you see some TV series about the emperors in the old times, in ancient times, and when he really like maybe one of his wife's concubine, he will give this as a gift. So this is really, really great gift, and others will be so jealous if you can get some of these.
Okay, so if my birthday or Christmas is coming up, just know if you give me one of these, I will be very, very flattered.
I will try. Try to work hard, earn more money.
Wow, it is such a luxurious looking fabric, and it's really interesting to see how they integrate this fabric into different pieces. We've got the typical art installations, the handbags.
Yeah,
makes it a modern twist. Oh wow, this has to be my favorite.
Oh.
I really love this style. It's very royal looking, isn't it?
It seems that you are really elegant with one of these bags, right?
I try. This will be the only elegant thing about me. Wow, it's amazing to see. I think just the attention to detail and really seeing that it's been made by hand, it just really elevates the product.
All of the pictures had something to do with Chinese culture. The dragon here, right? And we see some flowers.
And the national flower of Nanjing is the peach blossom, right?
Yeah, I think it's the peach blossom.
Yeah, you can see this as a little motif in a lot of the designs. Okie dokie, on to the next spot. Not even the rain can dampen our spirits.
Yeah.
So on to the next spot. What else would we like to see? I see
Would
there's a lot
you
of
like to
snacks.
see something delicious?
Is that even a question? Absolutely. I'm always
I
hungry.
think you've eaten a lot during your stay in Nanjing.
Yeah,
Is it?
I feel like the Nanjing locals, every time I ask them, what should I do today? Is there anything you would recommend? And they're like, have you tried this to eat? Have you tried this to eat? Have you tried this to eat?
Eat and eat.
I think if you want to come on a bit of a foodie tour, then Nanjing is definitely the city for
Yes,
you.
sure, you can have all kinds of food here. Basically, all kinds of food.
It's an endless discovery. So would you say that Laomindong is more for tourists or the locals enjoy coming here as well?
Both. Absolutely both. Yeah, although I haven't came here maybe when I was little, but when I enter college, I have some friends from other provinces of China and will bring them here.
Because it kind of has this ancient aesthetic to it, but how new is Laomindong? What year did it become
I
established?
think it's not very old.
Past
It's
10
like, yeah,
years?
10 years ago maybe it became famous.
And now it's the perfect Instagram spot. Love it.
Yeah, because of the social media nowadays, it's become more and more popular.
Yeah, that's so the best Instagram spots of the city. Laomindong. Where else is good for taking pictures?
The Confucius Temple.
We're gonna head up there later, I think.
Yes,
right?
sure. This is somewhere you must go if you come to Nanjing. And also we have some other scenery spots. For example, Zhongshanling. Have you went there?
Zhongshanling.
Oh, yeah, there is a scenery spot. I think it's in the Purple Mountain.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and the Purple Mountain is, I think it's the highest mountain.
I think we popped
Oh.
over here.
Right? Is Jasmine?
Oh, Jasmine. Honestly, anything with flowers inside is an absolute hit for me.
Yeah. Do you like jasmine? The smell of it.
I love
the
jasmine
fragrance.
tea, so
jasmine tea.
I imagine in a dessert it's going to be even tastier. Let's take a
Let's
little
see.
look. You can smell it already. It's incredible. And it's so popular. It's really, really nice to see so many businesses thriving, especially here on the shopping streets. There's lines everywhere.
Yes, for so many people.
Yeah.
And I think the flower is getting popular worldwide. Like
jasmine.
in the Turandot. Do you know the opera Turandot?
No, I don't.
We have a melody that is quite similar to the song. There is a song about jasmine in
okay.
Jiangsu province, and it is combined with some Western culture and presented in the whole world, in front of the whole world.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Nanjing going global. I love
Yeah, sure, international.
international feeling. I would certainly say that about Nanjing because actually, I'm not sure if I mentioned, but it's my first time here in Nanjing, and I wasn't sure what I was expecting, but it's an incredibly modern, vibrant city.
yes.
There's so much young energy around.
I think it's a combination of modern and tradition.
Yeah, I feel like even on this street, it's entangled with this ancient aesthetic, and
yeah.
the locals give you that real.
So we just
authentic
try
feel.
to bring all those traditions alive again, right, to the young people. Otherwise, they will be lost. So that is a pity. Right? So we have to keep them, carry them on.
Yeah, it's so amazing to see. It's like really the best of both worlds. I was living in Shenzhen for a very long time. It's an extremely modern city, and sometimes it's hard to find those more ancient sites.
Yes.
But here in Nanjing, you can have it all on one street.
Yeah, you can have everything.
Yeah, I'm spoiled in Nanjing. Spoiled by the local knowledge.
So would you like to stay here longer? Don't leave.
I already extended my stay actually.
Really?
You know, I had to add one extra day because there's just too much to see, too much to eat predominantly. But yeah, there's so many sites, and I'm a really big fan of photography as well. So trying to tick off all of my shooting locations has been a bit of a task. So we're gonna go down this little
I
alleyway.
think there are some interesting stores.
Okay, I follow you. You're my spiritual guide of Laomendong. Let's see, so many desserts.
Yes.
I think you should be the dessert capital of China. I've never seen
Yes, sure.
so many. And even in the rain, I feel like it's a very poetic city.
Yeah,
Everything's-
actually, rain adds something more to the city.
Yeah, actually, I was with a professor of architecture at the Ganxi residence, and he said that actually the best way to view the Chinese garden is in the rain.
Yeah, in the rain, yes.
Because
of
number
course.
one, you're protected by the roof in the temple, but also it creates this more magical.
Yeah, the
mystic-
atmosphere, right? And when it is a little bit foggy, the mountain and all of the pavilions, the buildings look more poetic. Right?
Yeah, it's like living in a painting.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like we are the fairies.
Oh, I love to see these really interactive
Pottery.
experience.
You wanted to make
Pottery.
some handicraft?
I feel like I could spend a whole week in Nanjing and I still wouldn't cover all the handicrafts.
Yeah,
And
sure.
my
Of
eyes
course.
have really been opened here. And also so many cool coffee shops.
Yes.
I'm trying to see all the different cups.
Oh, here is a store.
wow.
Oh, is it just open, newly open store?
Oh, which instrument is this?
This
looks
is a
really
traditional Chinese instrument called pipa. Have you
Pipa?
ever heard of it? It's a string instrument.
Okay, it's kind of like a Chinese guitar.
Yeah, you can understand it that way.
Let's let them take the pictures. A
cute.
very photogenic city, I must say. Everyone's looking for the perfect photo op, whether we're in the rain, come rain or shine.
It is sunny. Wow, it is raining. Right?
We're gonna get a rainbow over us any minute now. So the pipa, this stems from which dynasty in China?
Long ago, ancient times.
That's the right
I'm
answer.
not quite sure which dynasty.
Oh, okay. I need to take a look at this. The live streaming. So, live streaming, of
streaming,
course,
yes.
something that we're doing now. But
And something that is extremely modern and something that is traditional. The clothes, have you seen?
so they're using this as a means for e-commerce. or
I think they're trying to broadcast some information about the store or maybe this district, this area, to all of the netizens, right, so that they can attract more people to get to know more about Nanjing.
should I say hello?
Maybe.
Waling, Waling. Hi. Nanjing. Oh, so many viewers. I'm shy.
Let's take a look around.
Oh, okay. I need to draw my attention to this.
Roasted duck.
The Nanjing roasted duck. My friends told me that if I come back to Beijing without bringing them Nanjing duck, they're going to be really mad at me. So this is a little reminder that before I leave, I need to pick up some for my friends.
Yes, and Nanjing roasted duck is very different from the Beijing style.
Oh, really?
It tastes really different.
Because I actually thought this was Peking duck, but the Nanjing
This is
duck
sweet.
is different.
You know, most of the
surprised.
things in Nanjing is sweet, right? You know that.
I know.
you know
I
that.
like my teeth are rotting, but oh, it's so good.
Oh, you can take some stamps.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
have a
It's very
try.
interactive. So what do we have?
Is different tourist attractions.
One for you, one for me. Let's, yeah, like what you said with the food, you never know what the mystery is inside.
I know
so
because I can read the character, but you don't know.
everything's a mystery for me.
Yeah.
Oh wow! So what do we have here?
This is a temple, and it is called the Linggu Temple.
Go here.
May I have a try?
Ooh, I feel like I'm stamping the official document. Oh, beautiful! And this red ink is just so
Oh,
synonymous.
and this is the boy here is so cute.
So which temple is this?
Linggu Temple.
Linggu Temple.
Linggu Temple.
Is this also pretty close to the city? Mm-hmm. Is this also close to the city centre?
I'm not sure. Maybe it's a little bit far away from here.
Ah, okay. So if the tourists don't have too much time, they just buy the stamp. Maybe they
Yeah,
can't
I
visit.
think the temple in the middle of the city is Jiming Temple.
Ah, wow. Let's take a
Jiming
look.
Temple. Take a look.
Go for it.
And it is really interesting that young girls in Nanjing like to go to Jiming Temple to have a romantic marriage.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Really?
it's said that it's really, really magical. If you go there, you will have a magic match.
Okay, we can go once we finish filming. We can go find the lovers.
Right now.
So, if we don't have too much time as a tourist, visit the Jiming
Yeah,
Temple.
because it is convenience, the spot, the location. Yeah.
Perfect. Oh, here's some more stamps up here.
Yeah.
This is like the menu of locations. I really like this modern design as well.
Oh, Qinghai River is right beside us, I think.
Oh, wow.
Maybe we will travel along the river.
Oh, I hope so. Before I leave Nanjing, we need to have a boat ride.
You must go there.
It's
Go
so,
along the river, appreciate the scenery.
it's so cool to see the stamps contrasted against this really typical architect
Yeah.
window.
Traditional style.
However, we do have one stop left in our tour where we're going to meet my lovely friend Tiaran, who has another local Nanjinger. So I'm going to pass you on to Tiaran, and then we're going to go meet him there. So let's go pick up some duck for my friends.
Okay, let's go.
Well, it certainly looked like Hannah and Mia were having lots of fun. We've also come to another part of the old town, and we're joined by our guest,
Hey,
Jerry.
how are you doing?
Good, good, thank you. So Jerry is a proper local Nanjinger who's, you were born and you grew up here as well, right?
Yeah. My mother's Chinese. I was born and grew up in here, so I'm very like Nanjing, this city.
Right.
Yeah.
I must say that this is one of the more popular tourist spots here in Nanjing. This street that's full of food on either sides. Obviously, there's lots of tourists coming here to buy local specialties. Are there any dishes, Nanjing specialties, that you would recommend?
My favorite food in Nanjing is the duck and the 小笼包加水粉丝.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so xiaolongbao is basically little dumplings that people eat for
Yeah.
breakfast.
Many people like 小笼包 in breakfast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you also mentioned yazifens, so duck blood with vermicelli. That's also a local dish.
Of course.
And I see that there's also a kind of a
Yeah,
okay.
this one is the 小笼包.
Ah, I see. But this looks really interesting. Oh, it's crab roe, but it's a crab roe soup dumpling.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. That's so interesting.
蟹黄包 and different with 小笼包.
Okay. I mean, immediately the size is different. Well, I'm just worried because I know the soup is going to be so hot that I don't really want a fresh one. Like a fresh one's going to be ridiculously hot.
So when you try, you can. I think you need to be careful.
Yes.
because it's very hot.
I think so too. I think so too. Hey, 好嘞，谢谢。Do you wanna?
No, you,
Do you wanna do this?
you try first. Try first.
This is really dangerous. Having a straw in a hot baozi with a lot of really hot liquid is. It's a sure way to get yourself burned. I'm gonna give it a try anyway, just for you guys at home. Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
Then there's bits of crab roe in there too.
it's not hot.
It's not hot. It's actually all right. Oh, that's really tasty. Do you want to give it a try?
No. On camera.
He's like, you got burned. You just didn't tell me. I see that there's a lot of places selling the same kind of baozi, right? And you were talking about duck as well. I think. Oh, that looks. Oh, those are very colourful. Ah, have you had these before?
Yeah, before I have ate, but not often. Very not often.
青团. So these are usually eaten, I think, for like special occasions, right?
Yeah, I ate this one before, but it's not often because I think this one is for children.
Well, I'm a grown child. So. 那我们来一盒试试呗。哎，谢谢。好的。
It's a different berry.
OK。多少钱呢？25。OK。好嘞。
So 25 for 6.
25 for 6, which is not bad. 给你吧，谢谢。哎，谢谢。
Thank you.
That's so interesting. I think this is something that's common in southern China to have these sorts of glutinous rice balls. I think they've got filling inside as well, don't they?
But this one is different. It's a very different fabric. You can try.
Oh, we'll try it later. We're going to meet
Yeah.
up with Hannah in a bit, so we'll let her try it. She likes the sweet things. Oh, this view is quite beautiful. As you notice, it started raining a little bit. I think we might need to get inside soon, but
Yeah.
this is the Qinhuai River, right?
Qinhuai River.
The mother river of Nanjing, like the Thames to London. And I notice also you've got this picture.
I have a picture for 100 years. This one.
Oh.
Because it's different. It's too dark, and this one is no.
Oh wow! So this is this view 100 years ago.
This is the Qinhuai River for 100 years ago.
To be honest, it looks almost exactly the same. Like the pagoda's still there, the structure's all the same height. There's some more decorations here, and the boats are different, but otherwise it's the same.
Yeah.
Okay. It's interesting because it was built at the same time, pretty much as Nanjing. So this bridge has had a very long history.
I think this bridge has many years of history.
Yeah, for sure. Hannah also is going to be meeting us here. We've just got to find out. She said that she's on the street getting some souvenirs. Oh, there she is.
Oh, that is a dark shop, very busy.
Yeah,
Many people.
I'm surprised she's there. Like, being blonde is very easy to spot her.
You almost learned how to sing the song.
Hey.
确定吗？
What are you doing?
全国各地都可以寄，不管你去哪里都行的，可以寄。
发展北京。
可以到，今天到，明天就能到，可以的。
OK，谢谢你。
没事。
放在这儿啊。好。So Nanjing duck, absolute delicacy. These guys can send it to Beijing in like 2 days.
Yeah, I mean, you can see all the delivery boxes.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting you, of all people, to get that.
Yeah, I just seen the massive line of people,
Okay.
and this boss, she said we can send anywhere in China. So go for it.
This is for you.
Oh, what do we have
Qingtuan.
here?
They're rice dumplings.
Oh wow, it's like colors of the rainbow.
Yeah, but Jerry was saying earlier that this is for children. We're all children at heart.
Well, I have a young
really
spirit.
sweet.
Okay, you guys choose your favorite.
This one is for you. This is the most
It's a very different
traditional one.
flavor.
Ah, wow.
And I will try another one.
You could take one of the nice pink ones.
Yeah, choose whichever one you
Whichever
want.
one you want.
Whilst you're
Voila.
sitting
Just having a nice drink.
So it seems that we haven't even scratched the surface of the Nanjing cuisine. You guys have been on quite the tour.
This is great. It's kind of savory and it's sweet at the same time. And there's bits of crab roe that literally get sucked through the straw.
That sounds right up your street.
Yes, it does.
So what is your favorite food of Nanjing?
Duck and 小笼包。
Solomon, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about it earlier because I read that Nanjing is often nicknamed the duck capital of China.
Yeah.
Duck capital.
Duck capital.
There is no single duck that can go away from Nanjing alive.
My friends told me this. This is why I had to send it back. Like these massive boxes, she told me, anywhere in the country, no problem,
Oh, that's
we'll send
amazing.
it to you.
I mean, that's just, like, honestly, Chinese e-commerce is absolutely incredible. You get anything almost next day delivery.
That's nice.
Do you guys want to find somewhere to get away from the rain? Because it's starting to pour a little bit.
I know my hair looks terrible. You don't need to hint anymore. I think maybe we could get something a bit more substantial,
Yeah,
some
I
proper
think so
grub.
too.
What do you think? Do you have anything in mind on this street that would be good for us to try?
I think we can find all about the local foods, and there we have a restaurant where we can have a try of all kinds of traditional Nanjing food. Would you like to go in there?
Absolutely, let's do
Hey.
it. What is the name?
I guess it's right there, Qifangge, right?
Qifangge. Let's go.
Oh, here.
Should we go and grab a table then?
Oh, I might need to save a bit for you. This
Is it decent?
amazing. Really good.
Do save it. I'm still working on this baza.
I just love the straw inside it. I didn't know what to expect. Oh, let's take
Oh,
this
we can
one.
just, yeah, we'll
here.
grab one of these tables. That looks good. Because
Oh, perfect.
nice. What's pizza? I guess we could get the set menu, right? Because that looks like it's got a lot of local food.
That's a bargain as well for that price, for that many dishes. Let's do it.
你好，我们想来份套餐。Oh, awesome! Thank you. Nice.
This looks incredible.
Oh, nice, lovely. Oh, we got 2 sets. Right.
Oh, wow.
谢谢谢谢.
Tiaran will want to share with me because I eat less. So
Well,
he can
you
eat
can
more.
have this.
I was going to ask, I was thinking, is this like Chinese American food?
It is a Chinese American food takeout box,
So what's the.
but you would have seen the pagoda already.
Ah, right.
It's based off the porcelain tower that's here.
Oh, okay.
And it's really interesting because this box was originally designed to hold oysters because it's waterproof. And
Okay.
then now it's
I can see
holding.
that in the
Now it's holding a gift for you. You can open it and check it out while we eat the rest of this.
I guess. Wait, what is this? It looks like a deep fried spaghetti.
You guys should know what this is, right?
What is that?
馓 in Chinese.
馓子.
You can have a try.
Okay.
Kind of like a
What's
twiglet.
it like? How do you feel?
It basically dissolves after the first crunch.
Yeah,
What is it?
it's been swimming in its
Yeah,
oil for a
I
while.
used this one before, but I might know open.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is something that my dad used to eat as a child.
Oh, thank you.
But especially because back in those days, oil was a bit of a luxury. To have something as calorific as this was a was a rare treat.
Not diet friendly. I'll keep the box. I'll
But
keep the box.
I think we should try the food while it's fresh.
This one is duck. It's my favorite food.
Of course, you go straight for the duck.
I am gonna
I
go.
think you can try this one.
This is sweet.
Yeah, because
And your favorite red bean in here.
Oh, this one is very very sweet.
and this with the lotus. These balls, right?
No, this is sticky bowl.
Ah, because I've seen these thick soups on
Oh, do you
all
think?
the dinner
Oh, do you
tables in Nanjing. Let's give it a try.
That's delicious. It's salty, but not like overly salty, and the meat is incredibly tender. And it's not as fatty as Peking duck.
Yeah.
Because Peking duck has a thick layer of fat between the skin and the meat.
Yeah.
And that's what needs to be drained when they roast it.
I think this is diet friendly.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't eat duck.
She's
I
vegan,
don't
but
eat
we'll have all
vegan,
of it.
yeah.
Enjoy it.
Yeah, so we will finish the duck.
What do we have here? We've got some very like.
What is it? Oh, that's tofu.
Is this tofu?
Yeah, it's
noodles?
tofu skin.
Oh, okay.
It's tofu skin. What is that?
Wow.
That looks like
I think this is vermicelli
liangfi.
with the little baby shrimp.
Yeah.
This is rice noodle.
Oh, it's rice noodle.
Rice noodle with some baby shrimp.
Oh wow, okay.
This tofu is incredible. So
decent?
fresh, so creamy.
I'm just gonna steal.
Oh, go for
What's
it.
this on top? Is that ginger?
I think this is fresh ginger. Let's give it a try.
You're eating ginger with tofu skin. That's a novelty.
Don't knock it till you try it.
That's a novelty.
So fragrant.
Like a palate cleanser?
It's nice because you've got the soft against the crunch, the strong against that really neutral tofu.
And the spiciness of the ginger.
Oh no, you're weak.
Maybe I am.
Ah,
Ginger is spicy.
Very delicious.
Well, ginger can be quite spicy. It's got that tangy kick, doesn't
I
it?
think it's just used to add some flavor. Otherwise, it will be just very light. Not
Which
very
is
salty.
interesting because, like, you know, we've been in Nanjing for a couple of days now, and it feels like the food here is actually quite heavy. Like
Heavy,
in terms
yes.
of flavor, it's not the sort of delicate southern Chinese
Yeah,
cuisine
sure.
I expected.
Yes, because in Nanjing you can try a very wide variety of food. Yes, all kinds of foods from the northern part and the southern part. You can even try some traditional Sichuan cuisine here in Nanjing.
Well, you get that all
Something
around.
that is
Very
really
localized.
spicy, right?
What else have we got here? We've barely scratched the surface. What's in? This looks like a not.
That looks like meat.
Yeah, like
what's,
a
in, what's in that?
Xiaolongbao is
okay.
meat.
So
and
we-
this one, I think, it is vegetable.
Yeah, this is a veggie one.
Go on then, give us
You
a-
see
give us a
this in
try.
all of the southern breakfast stalls, don't you?
Is that a xiaomai or is that a xiaolongbao?
It's still something like we
This
call
one
it
is the xiaolongbao.
baozi.
It's a xiaolongbao. It's interesting just the way it's categorized. Because that looks like a xiaomai to me.
Yes, it's similar.
Because inside is a vegetable, and in this one inside is meat.
Ah,
And in Xiaomai, we usually have rice, sticky rice.
I see.
But I think this is missing a little bit of spice. So my eyes are going towards this chili sauce here. This almost looks like a sweet chili
It
sauce,
does look
doesn't
different to what we're used to. I think normally you have the kind of Sichuan style chili with like
Yeah.
the flakes.
Yes.
But this looks like sweet chili.
Let me add a little bit here. I'm gonna be brave. I'm a spicy girl. I think I can handle it.
Novelty way to eat.
Oh my god.
So if I want to ask the waiter to add more spice, what is like a local Nanjing phrase for me to be able
So
to
you
ask?
want satay?
Yeah, I know. I want spicy.
Okay, that's. I can teach you one test.
Okay.
还要辣油
Ayo.
Yeah, this one.
Layo is like
Layo.
a chili oil, right?
Layo
Layo is-
refers to the chili oil,
Yeah.
and ayao means do you want?
Do you want or
Do you
no?
want chili
Yeah.
oil?
How's my accent? Ayo layo.
Yes, that's it.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Kind of aggressive.
Yeah.
It just sounds like you're asking for aloe vera.
Alioli. Okay, let me put my my big talking to the test.
What's that? That looks really interesting.
I think we have stuffing in there.
Is this the yuhua stone?
Yuhua stone, yes.
Ah.
It looks similar.
Yuhua as in rain flower.
Rain
stone.
flower.
They're basically like little colourful pebbles that you get in the river here. And a lot of people grew up playing with them, like with marbles.
Ah,
But like now you have to buy them in the shop because they're all gone.
Oh,
But this is made in the shape of one of those
Yeah, and
stones.
when I was a little girl, actually, when I walk by the streets, you can see those little stores where you can buy these stones, and you will pay 5 yuan, and you can grab as many as you can.
Oh wow.
What? Sounds like a good deal.
This is definitely way tastier than a stone. There's black sesame inside. It's nice and cool. Do you want to go for it?
I love a bit of black sesame.
Go for it.
It does. It almost looks marbled, doesn't it?
Yeah, hence the name of the dish, the yuhua stone.
Wow, look at that. Okay, I'm gonna give a big bite in the middle.
Is this good? Because you were literally just going at it the whole time.
Because I'm hungry.
Okay, sure.
If
Oh,
it's
it's-
from your childhood, I want you to feel nostalgic.
Oh, that's really good.
I think it's sesame. Is it sesame?
Black sesame
Oh,
against
black
that
sesame.
glutinous rice is just a marriage made in heaven. Oh,
Is
it's
that-
so decadent.
Is that rice noodle or is it jelly? Is it like jellyfish?
It
Does
tastes
taste
like jelly,
It tastes like it's jellyfish.
but I think it's made of rice.
Yeah, I think it's rice noodle.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's delicious. I mean, it's got that really nice, bright, clean taste. And then
Yeah.
like the little shrimp on top just give it a nice savoury note.
It's
really
like a
good.
little bento box which shows all the layers of cuisine that you can try. You've got
Yeah.
that like very decadent black sesame, you've got that pungent sweetness in the soup, the seafood, the meat, it's something for everyone.
There's a lot of round stuff, I realised.
Come full circle of our trip in Nanjing.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, there's so much symbolism in round things
Yeah,
in
and
China.
round has a very good meaning, I think, in Chinese culture.
Yeah.
It's like reunion, right?
Exactly. Uniting the
Happy
four of us.
ending.
Absolutely delicious. It almost looks like a patty, you know, that you would put on toast.
Yeah, I could see the meat, so I'm just gonna.
I was thinking, maybe if I'm lucky it's red bean, but I think that's going to be the meat. Oh wow, yeah, it's like a pastry. Have a try. Oh, thank you.
Whoops. I was gonna say, this is the way you eat soup dumpling.
I was going to say you should be a pro of the xiaolongbao.
Well, when you eat soup dumpling, normally you make a little incision and then you pour the soup out
out,
into
yeah.
your soup. Otherwise, if you suck it out through a straw, you just burn yourself.
Salty. Salty.
Oops. It's a bit slippery.
You're at war with this. So I think you suck out all the juice of this, and then I think we should probably get heading to our last
Yeah,
stop.
I think the rain's letting up a little bit as well. This is beef.
Oh, really?
That's very rare. I've never
That is
had
gonna be
beef
beef.
dumpling before. Beef? Yeah.
It's like the Xiaolong Bao King. All different forms.
I'm done.
We full?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's go. Thank you guys, lovely meal.
Shall we take this?
I think we can leave it for the cooking staff. I'm sure they'll appreciate some extra snackies.
Oh, that beef. That was good.
You feel like you got your muscles
Oh, yes.
growing.
Oh, yes, I got my protein. So, I think the dock's over there, so we probably have to make our way.
Oh, I'm so excited to get onto the river.
Delicious. Oh, it's still got a bit of a sprinkle over there. And it's still quite busy despite the rain too.
Absolutely. I feel like the people that come to Nanjing just have this incredible energy. You just have so much to explore. I mean, we just had 9 dishes on one plate.
Oh yeah, and Jerry was showing us a photo
Yeah,
of
this
this
photo
area
is,
from a century ago.
100 years ago for
Oh,
this,
no way.
for the
This
place.
is over
The
here.
same place?
It looks almost exactly the same except for the boats, which are a little bit newer.
I can imagine. So would we want to ride on a boat that's 100 years old? Maybe.
But I think grabbing a boat and then taking it down the Qinghai River, which is like the mother river of Nanjing, is just an awesome way to end our little whistle-stop tour of Nanjing here.
Oh, it's amazing.
I think the
With-
port's over there, so we'll have to make our way.
Thank you very
down
much.
there.
We'll find our way.
Yeah.
So, what would you say is a must-do for anyone coming to visit Nanjing?
Eat.
That's a key takeaway.
And you like to run inside the city, right, outdoor, and to appreciate the scenery. I think that is a very good way if you run along the Qinghai River.
Oh,
Yeah, you can really appreciate what Nanjing is like.
So basically, any visitor to Nanjing should come
Qinghai
hungry.
River.
That's good.
And you're going to leave absolutely stuffed.
That's great. Well, I think before we get on the boat and continue with our tour around Nanjing, we'd say goodbye to our audience at home and maybe leave them an impression that they want to come and visit Nanjing and eat all of the local specialties here very soon. Like, share and comment on our live streams, and of course if you've enjoyed our live stream here today in Nanjing, be sure to view our show China Untapped on CGTN's website and also on our app where you'll find it, and all of our previous shows as well. I hope you enjoy more content from us.
Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and I hope we leave you with a lasting Nanjing impression.
Bye now.
Bye, guys.
We've got a boat to catch. I think it's just down from here, isn't it? Here we go.
Did you order the boat?
Yes, we're going to take a boat and look at the rest of the town. Which boat do you want to get?
I want the biggest, most colourful one. I want to match my nails. I see a lot of imperial yellow over here.
Yeah, exactly. It's actually, in the past, only the emperor was able to use yellow.
Feeling very honoured now I've got all my nails.
Well, you've always been an empress because you're blonde, you know. You're
Exactly, you're in the yellow
And you can
too.
see the dragon on the pillars.
Yes.
The design's incredible. Have you guys ever been on one of the boat rides before?
No, the interesting thing is I've never been on a boat
Well,
because we think this is only for the tourists.
you know what they
Today,
say.
the tourist in your own city.
Exactly. You can also see, like on the dragon too, it's also got 5 claws. That's the highest level of dragon. Like only the emperor is allowed to have 5-clawed dragons. Everybody else, the highest level is 4 claws.
No way! I
Yeah.
didn't know that. Now, if I think of a dragon with only 4 claws, it's not so intimidating. Just a back scratcher.
Like what happened to this other claw?
So if it's got 5, well, a thumb, then it's the emperor's dragon.
I think
Oh.
we're on boat number 1, so it should be probably inside over there.
Oh, I'm so excited for this. I think when you've got this misty kind of wet rain, there's nothing better than just
yes.
being on the river. And actually, Professor Lu told me that you should always see your life like a boat ride. You can't control the elements and just sail along. One of the principles of the Chinese garden, apparently.
That's very zen. It's also very Taoist.
So let's be zen.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, taking a pleasure boat on the river is definitely a must-do thing for tourists here, isn't it?
There's
Yeah, sure.
so much to do for people visiting Nanjing. I'm
here we
very
are.
pleasantly surprised.
Boat 1, there we go.
My biggest advice for any tourist, though, is come hungry, you will leave absolutely stuffed.
Yeah, for sure. It's so interesting that also in Beijing you can do these pleasure boat rides, but I feel here it's got more panache.
Tea and snacks, brilliant.
Oh, this is definitely a much more elevated version of the pleasure boat ride you get in Beijing.
Couldn't be better. And oh look, we've got the view. Or it's taken from the other side.
Taken from the other side.
I'm like,
Same.
same but different. Oh, we get some tea. Oh,
Oh, very nice. What is that?
I think
That's a green tea.
It's Yuhua tea.
Ah, it smells like a nice aged green tea.
tea and biscuits. It's basically like the British afternoon tea, but on the river in Nanjing.
I guess in the past they would have had maybe people singing and also selling stuff by the banks of the river as well.
For us, the emperors of the day.
Yeah, emperor of the day.
So what would you say has left you the longest lasting impression of Nanjing?
Let me think. I really surprised myself with how much I learned about the art and the somewhat science of the Chinese garden with Professor Lu, who is a professor of architecture at Nanjing University. I really learned a lot about the kind of zenith of how your life should be, and about the flow of energy in the Chinese garden. Even though I don't have a garden, it's good to put my mind
You
there.
just need to have a big enough mansion.
Yeah, one day. What about you?
If it's not spacious enough, you're not going to get the chief lane.
Yeah, my Beijing apartment is this energy.
You know what? I really enjoyed the porcelain tower and the Bowen Temple, the Temple of Gratitude. It's actually beautiful. Like a lot of museums can be quite heavy.
Yes.
You go in and you feel like you feel like centuries of weight on your shoulders. A bit solemn, but that museum is fantastic for Instagrammers. It's beautiful, very contemporary. It has like an amazing art displays of like LEDs with like Buddhist statues